Sorry, tired. Just woke up. Hello, my fellow readers. I, Dark Symphony 777, back with another fanfiction reading. As always, a link to the story will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to that channel, click on that bell for notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the video. So, the story I am doing a reading of is called Smug Spellcaster by Murad Sand. Okay. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX twinning TG story. Truth be honest, I found the story a complete accident. Before I even get to the review, reading, I legit found this on accident. Like, me and someone on Discord was literally, like, sending random, pictures of, like, Smug anime characters. And then I remember saying, hey, wait a minute, isn't there, like, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card? Because both me and the guy are actually fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's like, I looked up, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Version of the Smug anime girl, which was Witchcrafter Madame Berry. Oh my god, she's Smug. And I kid you not, I actually, when I went on Google and I typed it in, and I typed in the search engine, this was actually one of the top searches for Smug Berry. Oh. So I thought, hey, why don't I do this story? Oh, okay, so let's get started. For those of you who don't know what a twinning story is, basically, someone turns into an exact copy of someone else. So that means someone's turning into Smug anime. Witchcrafter lolly. Oh, it's even funnier once you realize, hey, wait a minute, she was actually an RR MILF before she became a lolly. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. So let's get started. Why is this still here? The hell? Let's ignore that. Jaden had heard rumors of a strange girl that was occasionally seen in the forest. He come to the conclusion that she had to be a dual spirit. She really is a dual spirit. She should be an amazing duelist too. Jaden was excited just thinking about getting to duel another dual spirit. Sarah was too busy to go with him right now, but Jaden was too impatient to wait. So he just headed out to the forest to find her. He spent 2 hours wandering the forest, skipping many of his classes in the process as he tried to find the girl. Jaden had almost given up when he stumbled upon a girl resting on a large and fluffy cushion that was bigger than her. She was a pretty small girl who seemed to be a couple years younger than him. She had long blue hair and was wearing a cute white dress. Jaden could see that she was definitely a very cute girl. Hey, are you a dual spirit? Jaden loudly yelled at the girl. Oh god, see, here she is. This is Very. God dang it. No. Hey, 1 second. I'm gonna get a picture of her. Okay, so yeah, this is Madame Berry. This is what she looks like. She looks like this. Truth be told, she originally looked like this. So she went from this to this. No, I'm not joking. It's very much implied that the Magitus became were before the Witchcrafters. Some people have been saying that, oh, this is basically the daughter of Very. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. With how Yu-Gi-Oh! Operates, I doubt they do something like that. I doubt they say, this is the child of this. Because we don't even know what Aluru is. Like, Witchcrafter Golem Aluru. I'm going to, like, lore now. Because we don't really know what happened to this, and we don't know the purpose of Witchcrafter Golem Aluru. You know, so a lot of people are saying, oh, she de-aged herself to look like this, so that way she can just goof off and be lazy. Because, come on. She's, like, just on a swing, saying, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I don't give a fuck. So, yeah, let's get back to the story. Okay. The girl took a moment to get up, looking at him with a dazed and tired look. Yes, I am. My name is Witchcraft Madame Berry, the cutest, smartest, and overall most perfect dual spirit in existence. Various facial expressions quickly became incredibly smug. Of course, there's the smug! The smug! With an equally self-absorbed tone. You are one of the duelists of this academy, correct? Perfect! Go and fit me some pretty dresses, a well-cooked meal. If you have a mansion on campus, they clear it off. Oh, God. Oh, I love this. I love the area already. Just thinking about this, just walking up to a guy's a clear Mitch. It's actually pretty funny to imagine. Oh, that's hilarious. That's pretty funny. Why is this not going away? What the hell? I don't want to risk it. She quickly took to bossing around and making demands to Jaden like it was nothing. Oh, by the way, I really wanted to ask... Oh, that's Jaden said. Oh, by the way, I really wanted to ask you something, Jaden responded, not really reacting to her commands. Varia was annoyed to see the boy's reaction. She never met anyone who hadn't fallen to her cute charms. I mean... Okay. She figured that he was too dumb or simple-minded to focus on how amazing and superior she was. Grammar error right there. She was. Varia was feeling bored too, so she came up with the plan to teach Jaden a lesson for his foolishness. It's boring out here. You're going to amuse me with a duel. Try to last at least a bit of a while against my skill and genius, Smug. Awesome, I was going to challenge you to a duel anyway. You can go first. Let's get ready to get our game on. Oh my god, I hate... Even in written word, I hate that catchphrase. That has to be literally the most cringiest catchphrase of all time. Jaden energetically shouted, getting ready to duel. So, are we going to see a Witchcrafter deck? Because, Witchcrafters wasn't in GX. That was in... I think, like, no. I wouldn't say 5Gs, Reigns? Like, Witchcrafter was a deck that was in Reigns. Basically, for those of you not Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there, Witchcrafters are basically a deck of Spellcasters. Vary's actually their head honcho, the head honcho of the deck, the boss. And their whole gimmick is constantly using spell cards, and all the spell cards have an effect saying if at the end of the turn, if you have a Witchcrafter on the field, you get to actually get to return them to your hand. So even if they're destroyed, they're not really destroyed because all you need to do is wait for the turn to end and then you get all the resources back. They're actually pretty good at grinding. The Manavuri is like a walking freaking Omni Negate on legs. But not Omni Negate like she negates and destroys. No, Omni Negate as in like once per turn you can reveal a spell card and she just negates everything else on the field. Okay, so let's get started. Varia was looking as smug as ever, of course. So she started off with the duel. She took her time looking at her star in hand, leaving Jaden unable to tell if she was ingeniously planning everything out or just dozing off. After a bit, she became active once more, playing her first card. I summon Witchcrafter Tisserand and attack mode. Okay, so she is playing Witchcrafters. Wait, Tisserand. I just wanted to check to see if that was a real card right there. In attack mode, a cute girl with a similar figure to Varia appeared on the field. Jaden wasn't sure why a dual spear would make such a rookie mistake like summoning a monster with no attack and attack mode, because Witchcrafters actually do something. Unlike you, Jaden, and your just summon a single fusion. Next, I will activate those continuous spell card, Witchcrafter Apprenticeship. You will learn what it does soon enough. Yes. She's so smug, she's just yawning and doesn't give a fuck. Very long yowdy and looked like she was about to fall asleep as she turned away from Jaden and closed her eyes. I set a card face down and it's my turn. Alright, do what you want. I probably won't be watching anyway, she said enthusiastically as she ended her turn, and then she just nods off. I can picture her doing that. Okay, so it's Jaden's turn. Jaden was floored by how his opponent was acting. You were the one who challenged me. Shouldn't you be a bit more excited about this? He didn't let her lack of enthusiasm infect him though. Even if opponent, oh my god. 2 grammar errors. Even if an opponent wasn't enjoying the duel, he would. Alright, it's time to get my game on. That's still so cringe. I'm sorry for constantly cutting off, but that's still so cringe. I summoned Elemental Hero Sparkman in attack mode. The electrical hero appeared on the field with a thunderous clap. Very didn't even look at the field as she dismissively waved her hand. Thanks to the effect of a Witchcrafter apprenticeship, the first monster you summon each turn becomes a Witchcrafter monster. Jaden watched in confusion as Sparkman was suddenly engulfed in a bright light. When the light cleared, there stood a girl about as small and useful looking as Very, with a long yellow ponytail and a frilly cutesy dress. The feminized Sparkman, now Witchcrafter Spark Girl, stood there with a bored expression. Very smirked as she finally looked at the battlefield, pleased with her handiwork. It's amazing how perfect all of my creations are. Jaden was left both shocked at what just happened and exasperated as his opponent's ego. Why does every duel I get into have to be so strange? Well, my monster still has as much attack as before, and you left your monster wide open. So Witchcrafter Spark Girl, attack her monster and destroy it, Jaden loudly explained, while Spark Girl raised her hand and began to file her nails. Spark Girl? You are kind of supposed to be attacking right now. What kind of superhero does their nails in a fight anyway? Prosthetic tricks. Spark Girl scoffingly dismissed her duelist. There is no way I'm following the command of someone who wears that kind of outfit. I only obey the commands of someone who wears high quality and personally tailored outfits that are pretty like mine, not ones that came from a dumpster. I promise I stopped. But this story is just, I'm not even halfway through the story, and this is already so, this has to be one of the, this actually is gonna be pretty entertaining. Jade didn't know what to do anymore. He didn't even really get what was going on. Very gave Jaden a pity-filled and belittling look. How pathetic. It hurts to even watch. Well, I guess I can help you out a little bit. You can shower me with praise for my generosity later. Thanks to my Witchcrafter test friend, I can place one of the Witchcrafter spell cards from my hand into yours, and then I get to add one Witchcrafter card from my deck to my hand. Very activated her monster's effect, and a new quick play spell card appeared in Jaden's hand. Use that card, and your monster will be able to attack this turn. Wow, thanks. At first, I thought you were kind of a brat, but I guess you are nicer than you thought. Jaden said naively, making his opponent snicker. Alright, activate the spell card, Witchcrafter Veterans. It was then that Jaden himself was engulfed in a bright light. That faded the show quite the change to him. Jaden's old Slave for Red outfit was gone, replaced with a cute and sparkly short white dress with a pink bow on the front. His socks became white and frilly, while his shoes became high-heeled blue Mary Janes. White tights covered his legs, and to top it off, a super soft and fluffy blue boa was wrapped around both his wrists. Jaden took a moment to look at his new attire in shock, before jumping in shock as his face went red. Why am I wearing your clothes? Mary rolled her eyes at the boy. What did you expect? Vêtements is French for clothing. And your monster said she wouldn't obey someone who wasn't wearing pretty and fashionable clothes. Bring your uncultured ignorance. I can help you become adorable, but I can't make you smart, she said while smugly flipping her hair, making Jaden feel not just embarrassed, but also stupid for even asking. Sparkgirl turned her attention and inspected her duelist. The rest of you could do some work, but that is a lovely outfit. I guess I can lift a finger just this once. She gently pointed at Witchcrafter Tesserend and blasted her with lightning. Jaden gave a relief sigh afterwards. It had been a mess doing something so simple, but at least it worked out. I end my turn. Time to see what you can do. A bit of light damage is nothing to someone as cute and perfect as me. I activate the spell card Witchcrafter Holiday, letting me summon Tesserand back in defense mode. Next, I summon Witchcrafter Weber in defense mode. Very smiled as two new cute spellcasters appeared on the side of the field. Now then, I activate the spell card Witchcrafter Materials Exchange. These are not Witchcrafter cards. I get to take 1,000 life points of yourself for myself. She snapped her finger, and Jaden could feel energy flowing from him to her. I thought this was supposed to be an exchange. Shouldn't I be accepting something out of this too? Jaden complained as his life points were drained away. Of course! You think I'm being too generous? You think you're going to receive something worth more than a measly 1,000 life points. It was then that pink energy went from Vari's right and to Jaden. He could feel his mind being flooded with images and thoughts of fashion and dresses. Jaden could hear Vari's voice in his head, shoving his head with girly fashion advice, forcing her fashion style into his mind. It was becoming very difficult to think about any other clothes or to get his mind off how pretty his new attire is and how super comfortable, soft, and superior it is. When the transfer was done, the voice receded, speaking only to his subconscious now. I think we both agree that fashion advice is of much higher worth. Remind me not to accept any gift from her again, Jaden mentally complained. I now activate the effect of Witchcraft Weber, letting my monster gain 1,000 defense points for every spell I use this turn until my next one. So both of them gain 2,000 defense points. With that, I have no further use for my turn. As Jaden drew his next turn, he was at a bit of a loss of what to do. Any monster he summoned first would be turned into a hard-to-control Witchcrafter, but he needed both on the field to summon what he needed to try and turn this duel around. I have no idea, but it's going to be risky, Jaden told himself as he began his plan. I summon Neo-Spiration, Flare Scarab to the field! Another monster, another Witchcrafter, Barry said while mockingly waving her hand. The moment that Flare Scarab appeared on the field, a red-headed cute girl stood soon afterwards. Oh, God. I may have had to give up my Scarab, but my plan is far from finished. I activate the spell card Ancient Rule to allow me to summon a level 5 or normal higher monster from my hand. I choose my ever-trusty elemental hero Neos. Jaden pumped his fist as he summoned his signature monster. Neos can contact fusion with any monster I have on the field. I don't know what's going to happen when I fuse him with my Witchcraftified Scarab, but I have faith in my monsters. Now, fuse Neos! Jaden held hope in his heart as two of his monsters fused together. When the fusion was complete, Jaden was left dumbfounded at what he saw. In front of him was a busty woman with long silver hair styled in regal curls. A massive red and poofy ball gown covered her. Her expression was almost as smug and self-assured as Very. He read the card description to see what it's called. Elemental Hero Smug. Smug Neos. I'm actually gonna pause the video. Okay, I'm done. I'm done laughing. I'm done laughing after it. Very couldn't help but snicker at the sight. Well, you definitely improved her, and while she may not be a Witchcrafter or name, I think she definitely is one at heart. I guess we'll see. I read my monster's effect, and I can deal 600 damage to you for each spell or trap card on the field. There is 2 of them, so that's going to be 12,000 damage coming right at you. Alright, Smug Neos, give her the burn. Don't tell me you aren't going to listen to either. Smug Neos touched up her makeup as she spoke to Jaden. I am not feeling in the mood to activate my effects right now. I need to be properly compensated for my time. It's a waste to even be here right now. Well, Jaden, it seems you didn't read enough of her effect. It seems you might need to give her a gift to win her over. And unfortunately, I can provide that. I will use Tesserand's effect once more and give you the card you need. Smug. Jaden looked cautiously at the card that appeared in his hand. He knew that he shouldn't trust Very, but if he did nothing, he would lose. And he had a bad feeling what would happen if he lost. I guess I have no other choice. I activate Witchcraft Golden Gift. I pay half my life points, but my Smug Neos gets a Witchcraft counter on her. As Jaden's life points dropped down to 1,500, tons of its makeup appeared on Smug Neos. From the haughty, overjoyed laugh she let out, it seemed to have worked. That was a big cost, but at least her effect will go off. It definitely will, Jaden. But not in the way you think. I activate the quick play spell card, Witchcraft Bribe, so I get to turn your effect on you instead. Very showed Smug Neos a case of even more fancy and beautiful jewelry. Oh my, I can't take this story seriously. At all. I can't even. Along with some fine gowns. In an instant, she turned against Jaden and blasted him with a huge fireball. As it consumed him, he didn't feel in pain, but rather a somewhat pleasurable tingle spread across his body. Once the flames cleared, Jaden was completely unrecognizable now. He was now small and little, with a preteen-like female body with a completely flat chest. His brown hair turned into long blue hair that turned light pink near the bottom. Jaden's hair had a little side ponytail as well, with dark pink swirled and with blue hair. He could also taste the sweet strawberry lip gloss and that gently coated his lips. It was then that he realized what had happened. The attack turned me into a copy of you? Barry gave a smug and proud smirk as she admired Jaden's new appearance. Aren't you happy? Now there is no one more cute than you. No one more deserving of being spoiled and pampered. Trust me, you are going to love your now perfect appearance. Jaden was left worried about what to do from here. All he knew was to put his faith in his cards. With nothing more to do this turn, he passed it over to Barry. Barry had a sly smile as she started her turn. This island is rather drab. People as pretty and you and I deserve much better. I activate the field spell card, Witchcrafter Mansion. Suddenly, the two duelists found themselves in a massive and elaborate designed mansion. Jaden was now resting on a very large and soft cushion like Varys, while the two were surrounded by smiling maids. Jaden began to sink into the cushion, letting it nearly engulf his small body. It felt absolutely wonderful just to sit back and relax. He could feel all his troubles and worries about this duel starting to fade away. You look quite comfortable. Why don't we take a little time for a tea break and nap? Wait. A maid then offered Jaden a cup of tea, which he hesitantly accepted. As he slowly sipped his tea, his body relaxed even more, a soothing bliss filling his body. After a short bit, Jaden and Very fell asleep. As he slept, he began to dream. It was a strange one of him being surrounded by handsome rich men. They were all falling over backwards to please Jaden, showering him with flowery praise and expensive gifts. At first, he wasn't sure how to feel about it, but he slowly began to enjoy it. It felt so thrilling to be doted upon and desired so highly. A bit later, the two duelists woke up from their pleasant naps, ready to continue the dueling. That was a wonderful nap. I need to wrap this duel up quick so I can get back to sleeping. The effect of my witchcraft literally took... Oh my god. The effect of my Witchcrafter mansion places every Witchcrafter spell card in my graveyard into my hand. Isn't that like how Switch... I'm sorry, I'm just... the Yu-Gi-Oh player in me is just stupefied at that effect. I'm sorry. But... Okay, I'm done. Okay, though I cannot activate them this turn. Next, to activate the effect of Witchcrafter Tesseract once more. This time, I will let you choose which card you want to receive. Jaden looked upon the list of spell cards offered to him and selected the one that he thought could win this duel for him easily. Before I end my turn, I'm going to bless this field with even more perfection and beauty. I tribute my two Witchcrafters to summon Witchcrafter Madame Very to the field. Mary's smug smile became even bigger as she summoned a copy of herself to the field. Is this writer even going to get Vary's effect right? Can we at least get Vary's effect right? With that done, she gleefully ended her turn. One of the maids held out a mirror in front of Jaden, while the other maids did things like brushing his hair, giving him a massage, and giving Jaden a manicure. Jaden couldn't help but admire his now much cuter reflection. It was all inspiring to see how lovely and irresistible he had become. While getting to look at his reflection was quite the treat, it was also an ecstatic feeling to be pampered. It wasn't just that about it feeling soothing and wonderful, although it most certainly was. What really made Jaden feel great about being pampered was the sense of superiority it gave him. He couldn't help but think about how he was better than the maids around him. It was only natural to think that they serve him. Jaden could feel his conscience briefly fighting back, thinking it was wrong to think like that. However, as if reading his mind, the maids began to shower Jaden with praise and adoration, telling him how much prettier he was than them, and how he was honored to be in his presence. The compliments melted away Jaden's resistance. A smug smirk forming at his thoughts drifted back to selfishness. I was right. I am superior to these girls. I am much cuter. A girl as cute as me deserves to be spoiled and pampered. It's my reward for being so perfect. It took a bit longer for Jaden to remember that she was in a duel. Oh, right. It's supposed to be my turn. I don't really feel like drawing a card. Maid, draw a card from my deck for me, Jaden commanded, the maid curtsying as she obeyed the command, placing the card into Jaden's hand. Giving out a command and having it be followed made Jaden feel ecstatic. It was so natural to just boss people around. Like it was just second nature now. Holding these cards is too much effort anyhow. How Jaden complimented with a lazy tone. When she looked around, she noticed a number of handsome men walking around the mansion and had an idea. It would be wonderful if some gentlemen would hold my cards and play them for me. Immediately, one of the men came running in, kneeling before Jaden and offering to fulfill her commands. Jaden's smirk became as smug as Vary's as she handed the cards to the man. She couldn't believe how much easier things were now that she could just charm people into doing things for her. Just thought how silly she used to be, focusing on all the wrong things. I think it's time for me to finish this duel and prove how perfect I am. Gentlemen, play the spell card Witchcraft. Okay, at least finally an actual Witchcrafter card. The gentleman did as commanded and played the card. With this card, I can send any number of monsters from my deck to the graveyard and give... Is it an actual card? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, it is. I can set any numbers of monsters from my deck to the graveyard and gave one of my monsters the effect gains 1,000 points for each monster sent to your graveyard this turn. I have no need for cards that lack cuteness, and it's not like my male cards can donut me here, so gentlemen, toss aside all those silly male monsters. Jin had no concern or remorse for her elemental hero monsters, having them casually. What about Burstinatrix? What about those Burstinatrix? Discarded in favor of Smug Neos, who she vastly preferred now. 21 monsters sent to my graveyard, so now my Smug Neos is gaining 21,000 attack points. More than enough to wipe out your monster and win the duel. Now, Smug Neos. Finish her off. Janie was smugly sure of her victory as she commanded, but her monster attacked. Very, however, was even more self-assured. It was a fine duel, but it's over. I activate my Mana Varies effect. I discard one card and all your monsters' effects are negated this turn. So your Smug Neos attack goes to... I mean... You are right on the first part, so I activate my monster's other effect. During the damage step, I can reveal spell cards with different names in my hand, and Mana Vary gains 1,000 attack and defense for each one. Here's 4 of them, so now Vary is going for 5,000 attack points. As always, I win. Smug Neos fired a large fireball at Madame Vary, who casually reflected it back at Smug Neos, defeating Jaden. Jaden, now a new Vary, wasn't too bothered by a loss. I don't like to lose, but I suppose it's okay if it's myself. At least I have become the cute and perfect girl I deserve to be. Okay. The original Vary nodded with a sly smile. You finally understand. Now I'm going to return to the spirit world and sleep for the next couple of days. You go and turn this academy into something nice. The two Vary shared incredibly smug looks as the original went back to her world. The one that used to be Jaden took another nap before eventually heading to the academy. When Vary arrived, students began quickly to fawn over the cute girl who acted like she owned the place. Whenever they were a guy or girl, everyone was falling for Vary and obeying her whims. Once she had enough influence, she began making changes to the academy. 3 months later, Duel Academy was out on all-girls school. All the former boys having been turned into cute girls by Vary. The other girls got some changes too. The 3 categories of students was heavily changed too. The Obelisk Blue dorm was now the Obelisk Princesses, filled with the elite girls who were all as flat-chested, small and smug as Vary, who was above even the rest of the girls. The Slifer Red dorm was turned into Slifer Maids, who were barely even duelists anymore, dedicated to serving the lazy and selfish Obelisk Princesses who lived in luxury. The average raw levels yellows became raw schoolgirls, many were just regular cute schoolgirls, though some were cheerleaders for the princesses or even head maids. The island itself was turned into incredibly cutesy, girly, and colorful. It looked like it came out straight out of a fairy tale book. Duel Academy was now a paradise for Vary, a paradise she knew more than she deserved. Okay, so that's the story. I liked it. I liked how different and hilarious it was. Like usually when it comes to like twinning stories or TG stories, you're like either freaking out or find some kind of like sexual arousement in it. This was just flat out hilarious. It's like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I am wondering why Jaden and why Vary. That's honestly my biggest question about the story is why why that specific character and why that specific card. I do like the fact that the author at least got Madame Vary's effect right. It's like when did the story come out? I forgot that DeviantArt doesn't do times. Okay, so maybe I can check the... Okay. Okay, so April 4th. So this is around the time I think only Madame Vary was introduced. Crafter, no. Collaboration. What chapter is collaboration? Okay, so I forgot what this card does. Because I haven't seen a lot of Witchcrafter cards, so let me see. Okay. Okay, so the author of this story actually got a card right, but mixed up the effects. The only effect he got right was Madame Vary's effect, because that's actually the whole negate and the spell card bump is actually her actual effects. And I kind of get why the author did this, because of the whole twinning thing. Yeah, okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, I actually had to give this a 5 because I have to knock points off with the fact that we don't actually see the transformation happening. Like when it comes to TGs, like a lot of the fun in these type of stories is seeing the transformation happen in real time. The more, like I said, the more detailed usually means the better. But this one is just, it's like blink and a miss. Like he plays a card, he gets addressed. He gets hit by Smug Neo's effect. He turns into Manaveri, and then he just mentally turns into her. There's not really a lot of enjoyment in that. Like that would really be my only knock on the story. And from a storytelling perspective, it does make sense why it's blink and miss because it's Jaden playing the cards and then instantly turning into Manaveri. I get that's the whole point. It still doesn't make it in the actual transformation itself any enjoyable. I liked a lot of the funny, like this story was actually pretty funny. I liked the fact it took a nap in the middle of the duel. I liked the fact Smug Neos was a thing. Oh, that was actually pretty funny. There is like consistency errors, mainly because Witchcrafter Manaveri's effect doesn't lower lingering effects. This is the duelist in me. But Jaden could have actually went over Manaveri mainly because when it comes to like lingering, like if the card, because he played Collaboration, well this version of Collaboration, got rid of his whole deck. It was technically a lingering effect, more or less. It was only like, oh, you get the attack boost until the end of the turn. Manaveri wouldn't be able to negate that unless it was a continuous spell. So, yeah, Jaden would have actually won. Because, see, look, okay. So, I just want to point this out. Oh, okay, never mind. I just read that again and realized, yeah, that's you deliberately made it so that way it changes their effect so you can activate Manaveri's. Okay, my bad. But yeah, that's basically it. Granted, there is consistency errors mainly because all the Witchcrafter cards return the hand at the end of the turn. But this is, I mean, it's right here. Like she only made this at the time when just Fairy was it created. Like, so I can kind of understand why there's a lot of inconsistency with the Witchcrafter spells. Yeah. So I gave this one a 4. Like the only legitimate knock against the story is the transformation was so fast. Yeah, it fit the story, but it just leaves you wanting more. It leaves you wanting more. So that's Spellcaster. This has been Dark Symphony 777 and cut.